We like all the shades of blue. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch is
That's
purple.
purple,
Is that a shade of blue?
It's a
bluish.
combination of blue. There's blue in the Instagram logo. It goes from orange to blue, I think.
No.
Oh,
Not at all. Anywho, okay, let me get this started and then we can do whatever. Um,
yellow. It does have
yellow.
orange in it.
Welcome to the Inperspektev podcast. We're just gonna have some fun today. The main topic's gonna be love, but aside from that, we just have some homies here. We share our perspectives on whatever topics we get into. Um, it's not reflective of the podcast itself, but it's reflective of the individuals. It's kind of a good opportunity to try to understand each other to the best ability we can. But got my homies here. My name's Tevin. Got my two other homies, Gio and Light. You guys can introduce yourselves in any way you want. I'll let you guys have that.
I, I am light, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to. I'm grateful for this opportunity to better understand my two cohorts here, because I don't understand them at all.
Is that how you feel?
That's the that's a spicy take. He said, "I don't get
I said at all.
oh, what makes you tick? I don't know." Well, my name is Gio, um, and I am also excited to hear what the homies got to say about this thing we call love and how it makes us do the craziest things or nothing at all. Nothing at all. So
Love,
yeah, let's get into it.
love makes you not do anything.
Yeah, sometimes, sometimes you
I
do
mean,
nothing.
I'm gonna write that down.
look,
I got
Look and
questions.
listen, and I will explain later when we get there.
Man.
Yes.
All right, what we jumping into first? I want to hit the Trey Songz thing, research that, bop
What's
it,
up
bro,
with
let's
Trey
do
Songz and this Yo thing? Yeah.
bop this out real quick.
Seriously, when you said that, I was thinking you were going with the dive in. Ooh, I'm about to dive
Yeah, I was
in.
like,
Whoa,
with the
whoa.
lips up. I understand
And
that.
then I was just like, I don't see how that has anything to do with with lips being dry. But hey, maybe you dive into the moisture.
it.
Like that's a Trey Songz kind of thing. What is it? Not panty dropper. There's a was it? Yeah, dive in is the wet one. I'm
Yeah,
gonna get you wet. Yep. Hey, he's got moisture. Oh gosh, being outside was probably the dumbest decision I made because
you got the mosquitoes.
it's so much nature out here, bro. So much nature, and like I've already been swung at by two bees. They slid by me.
They
There's flies.
swung at you?
We got gnats. Look, you don't see me like I'm calm, cool, and collected, but there's a lot of nature out here, man.
I mean, if you got cocoa butter on your face or even on your body anywhere, dude, you're gonna get attacked by some bugs.
We ashy right now, bro.
Oh, okay.
We
You
ashy.
gonna put that Carmex on all that?
Oh, we put the look. We don't like our lips being chapped, but we unfortunately slightly ashy right now. It's a little bit trouble spot
That's
ashy.
that's that you know what that is? That's that damn, I'm missing all my jokes today.
Oh,
Yeah, you missing them right now. Look, you tried me. You thought, but today I had time. Shout out to the kid. That kid passed away. You know that? The today I got time kid.
did he? I don't know who that
Hey, he
is.
got killed.
Oh yeah, that was like a good few weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Here we go on another mission. Today I
I
got
think I sent it
time.
in the chat actually. I tagged Stefan because I was like, damn, Stefan. Like today, someone else had time. That's rude. That's
Wow.
that's how it was.
White Crip gangbanger for call.
What's his name? You know his name.
Today I got time, cuz.
Bro, what?
He was in Aurora or something.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember it. Oh, you got the stream up. Let me click on it. Yup.
I don't.
He was a young dude too.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yep. Got caught slipping.
And you know what's crazy? That's like low key, sort of related, but also completely unrelated to this is um I was at the laundromat. And normally I don't like to be bothered when I'm out and about doing my business,
Right.
especially because it was like 4 in the morning. And
Oh, wait, hold up.
At the laundromat?
This is laundromat 4A.
Okay,
Well,
he
you
he
work overnight,
has
right?
yeah, he has nocturnal hours. Makes sense.
He's
it's it's like 5 minutes from my house, and I had nothing else to do. Um, so
I was bored, so I went to the laundromat.
bro, like I'm literally minding my own business, and this dude, I mean, there's like three dudes in there just having a whole conversation, just chilling at the laundromat, like not doing laundry, just in the laundry. It's a 24-hour laundromat, man, and they're just chilling, and they got to be like 30 plus, you know what I mean? And there's three white dudes, and one of them comes over to me with like a hospital bracelet, and he's like, "Hey, bro, can you scan this bracelet with your QR code on your QR scanner on your phone? I'm trying to see if my homie's still in the hospital." And I'm just like, "But you have his bracelet." Like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you right, my bad, bro." And I'm just like, "All right, bro." And then he comes back over, he tries to start a conversation with me, and like the way he does it, he's just like, "Oh, R.I.P. my man DMX," you know what I mean? It's like my name Bobby, whatever, you know what I mean? I'll be out here in these streets, you know what I mean? Everybody in the city know me. And I'm just like, bro, like why is your first reaction to like make a conversation, or the first course that you decide to make some type of conversation is to try to tell me how like street you are. You know what I mean? And I'm just like that's like low key like annoying, and I'm just like, bro, just
I get
telling me.
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's always like, again, I apologize. It's not me like stirring the pot or nothing like that. But like it's always a certain type of white dude that comes up to me. And bro, it's just like, "Oh, what up, big homie?" You know what I mean? Like
Big homie.
What's up,
straight
baby boy?
up.
What's up, big
It's
boy?
like he just starts off the conversation like RIP DMX, RIP King Von. You know what I mean? I'll be out here in the streets, everybody in the city know me, and I'm just like, bro, like
He had to start showing off accolades so he knew you could talk to him.
just tell me your name and we'll go from there. I really don't want to talk to you for real.
Maybe
But
he's like truly about it though, you know? You can't knock him for living the life and then talking about the life.
Yeah.
I
Maybe he's really
guess,
in these streets. I mean, you never know. Judge a book by its cover. Maybe that cover really dirty.
man,
He's
if you really out
really
here and you
dirty.
really about these streets, like you don't need to prove it to me. Like,
R.I.P. DMX. R.I.P. King Von. My name is Leslie.
That's it.
What's up with you, Shouty?
shoot,
You said
like
your name was
I don't
Les.
know.
Young
It just
Les.
it just it high key annoys me because I used to have a manager, or I guess a boss, at one of my old jobs when I did sales. It was some super shady stuff, but it was a white dude, and he was from Cleveland, Ohio, and you know, Scumbag Steve. If Scumbag Steve was like a real person, I mean, he is a real person, but like, like legit, like this homie, and that's like it was one of this dude just said the N word frequently, and it's like, prior to me being there, it was all white people. And then, because I was the one black guy, he felt the need to like try to become my friend because, he was, from the hood, and he'd been to jail, and he's out here wearing streetwear to work, and I'm just like, he's got a mixtape, and he needed to tell me that he had a mixtape. And the first chance I got in the car with him, he proceeded to play his mixtape for me. And I'm just like,
Was it good though?
Was it fire though?
bro, he was rapping off beat. Like, the thing that people do when the beat goes hard, but like one line, they finish a line, and then there's no like separation, and it's like they record several takes. It's like I record one line, and then the second bar I re-record, but the beginning of the second bar is slightly on top of the end of the first bar. You know what I mean? So there's literally no room to breathe between bars, and it just sounds like one giant run-on sentence for the entire verse.
AKA, it's not chopper style, but it's chopped up to sound like chopper style, even though it's clearly not one take. Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. But let me stop hating though.
But the beats was fire though, so we just talked about that last week, I believe. Oh man, that beat go hard.
Let me stop hating. People gonna think I'm a perpetual hater on here.
I mean, Storage Wars
Storage Wars.
Storage Wars.
and Trey Songz.
Yeah.
They was having a legal battle over the catchphrase.
Yeah,
Yup.
that's what it was. That's what it was.
Never. What's it on? Is it on A&E? I feel like that's gonna be on something on A&E.
I feel like it's something like that.
It's something out of pocket. They were like, let's get to this money real quick.
That's so. Come on, Trey. Like,
Wait, so
who was
Who
suing
won?
who? It was Storage Wars suing Trey Songz.
no,
right?
Trey
Not the
Songz
other way.
was suing.
Storage Wars? Oh, it's the other way around. Trey Songz, what you doing, baby? Oh, they must have been using his yup then. That's what it was.
Oh, you think it was straight up like that?
Well, let's do the research. You the one on Google.
We out here.
We
Play
on
video.
TMZ.
Hey man, they got some type of
Oh.
fat.
Songs is my name.
All right, don't care.
Oh wait, what?
Are you serious?
All right. Settled their dueling lawsuits over the phrase. Oh, dueling lawsuits. They both filed them.
High key, this whole story is ridiculous.
It is.
Okay. Just reading it out, they wanted to sell merch. And now neither of them probably are selling the merch. Because I haven't seen Trey Songz yup anything. And I've never heard of Storage Wars to hear a yup something. So that's what. Oh, so okay, it was about bread. They was like,
Well, yeah,
but who sued first? That's what I want to know.
bro.
Who went there first? You know, you can't take yup. How dare you? You can't out yup me. I am the yupper.
Well, it says that he sued. David Hester. Blah 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 blah. Dude, that's whack either way. I don't care even who did it. It's just a word, dude.
Bruh, if you don't, I would have been like, if you don't shut up and sell that off-brand yup, and somebody get the brand yup,
Yup.
hey, that's all
Bro,
it is.
just throw a HM right before the P.
I was
and
about to
call it
say. You could just add one more U in there, you'd be fine.
Yeah, like, and for real, I believe that Trey Songz was more famous.
Oh,
Because,
easily.
as you know, as I've said now at least 3 times, I've never heard of Storage Wars.
Like, just the
Yeah.
show in general?
I mean, there's like hella memes on the internet from that show.
I'm one with meme culture, and I've never seen a
It's-
Storage War meme.
Is that the best I can do is
I'm pretty sure that's the Storage Words guy.
The best I can do is
It's either what is it? What's the
I
other
got
show?
you,
Pawn
hold
no, that's
something.
Pawn Stars,
Is it?
bro. Don't try
Oh,
to.
okay.
And I heard of Pawn Stars. The best I can do. That's the bald head dude.
Shout out to Pawn Stars and Stores Words. I don't watch either one of you, but you know, whatever.
Pawn Stars.
Y'all
That's
might
what the
watch us one
episode is.
day.
Y'all might, and y'all might be like, "Man, they some haters." But we don't know you, so whatever.
Mess around, get sued for slander.
You gotta get sued for slang.
Yup.
Yup.
Yeah.
Bro. We'll take it.
Yeah.
That's free publicity right there, so it's all
That,
good.
look,
Sue us right now.
sue.
Please.
Please, I want to get sued
Sue
right
you for
now.
$1,000. I got you. Down payment.
But hey, you know what's crazy though? It's kind of similar to that situation of it's
I haven't heard about that situation.
I never heard of that one either.
nah, it's a certain shade of black. I forget what the shade of black is called. But there's somebody who has like a copyright
True.
on the
Jet
specific
black?
shade of black. No, it's like a very specific.
Ebony.
No, Danny knows what I'm talking about, but I can't remember.
You can't use.
Can't remember what the shade of black is called. But he like people have to like pay to use it.
Anish
It's
Kapoor
like
owns the rights to the blackest color ever.
yeah.
Blackest color ever. Michael Blackson. Me after 30 days straight in the sun.
Bro. That's a whole topic in itself.
Dude,
But I mean, like,
I'm darker now. I was in Florida on the beach, boy. I'm 80%
yeah.
chocolate right now, 80% cacao.
It's funny though because the simulation, I can't even speak. The situation is similar, you know, because it's like, is it really fair that homie gets to capitalize on a color? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, if it doesn't exist naturally in nature and you create it,
But how can you assume something is the blackest?
you can compare it. You
Like,
don't
how
have
could
to
you
assume.
How could you assume that there is no light that reflects out of this color black? Your blacks have a little bit of light coming. This black is the most pure black.
you know why it's the blackest? You know why it's the blackest of all blacks? Because when you pay to rent
Please
the
stop.
right to use it, it comes with a
Please
bucket of fried chicken.
Please stop. There's no way this is gonna be good. Bro, we on
I'm
Facebook.
joking.
I'm sorry.
Yo, you're wild. You're out of pocket.
Bro, all jokes aside,
Thank you that all of us are black on this show, so we can side eye you and just continue on.
all jokes aside, man, everybody know I'm pro black, but yo, it's crazy though because like he was saying, like, how do you know it doesn't? Like, okay, hypothetically, let's say you create this so-called black is black, right? So what is stopping somebody from just kind of messing around one day and trying to recreate it, but just calling it something different? You know what I mean? Because can you still sue that person if you can't prove that, you know, it's exactly the same or the formula is exactly the same or whatever?
I mean, people get sued all the time for software stuff like that. Like, if we somehow made a PS5 again, called it the SP5, it plays the same games and everything. Like, what are you gonna do?
But I feel like that's
You gonna get
there's
sued?
definitely more like technical stuff to that though.
What?
Because you're still using what you created to play other people's intellectual properties. You know what I mean? Like there's way more money coming in and out of different pockets in that situation versus like, oh well, I made a black too, and it's like darker than what we previously thought was the darkest black, and I'm calling it the 90th midnight. So
The night is midnight. You can
yeah, I
go the
mean,
bleach route and call it darker than black.
swear to God.
And then that's the color I would make. I would make it and call it darker than black and be like, people deal with me. And then get sued by Taite. And then Taite would be like, I'm relevant again.
We out here just like throwing shots at everybody.
Yeah, everybody can get it today. I thought Mother's Day was today, so I was trying to be cool. So I didn't have any ferocity in me. So that everybody getting on the podcast now that I know it's not Mother's Day.
Shout out to all the mothers in the middle of all of our, you know, wildly directional animosity. Shout out to all the mothers because y'all deserve more than just one day to be appreciated.
Oh yeah, y'all should be appreciated every day because y'all are dope. Because y'all bring people into the world.
But
But we'll still make fun of you too.
we'll be
Yeah.
sure to appreciate you guys next Sunday on the appropriate day.
Well, mom jokes can still happen. You better be able to dish them back. Speaking of mom jokes, like you remember in Living Color? Yeah, that episode where they were always putting your mama jokes out there. I heard one of the funniest jokes from that show ever. It was like, your mom's so fat. God dang, I forgot the joke. It's not that funny, I guess, is it?
Oh, I got
No.
you. Hold on.
Oh wait, it was like your mama's so fat she can put a quarter in her butt and squeeze out dimes. 2 dimes and a nickel or something like that. It was wild. I was like, I chopped up the delivery, but if I catch you out in these streets with it, you're just gonna have to deal with me.
Bro,
Your
whatever
mama's
happened
so
to Yo
fat.
Mama?
Yeah, and then they had Yo Mama.
They should have
The
kept that show.
Wilmer Valder. Yo, that show was heat. They used to come at each other's throats on that show. It was like not a game. That was beyond lunchroom level. Like, I swear, I think one of the episodes there was a fight.
Oh, I wouldn't be
I wouldn't.
surprised.
Yeah, I high key would not be surprised. I feel like when you do a show like that, you probably almost have to sign a disclaimer beforehand. And then
Yeah.
if you break any of the rules that are in that contract, you probably like there has to be some kind of penalty
Yeah.
because I mean it's a whole show based around the idea of insulting people.
Yeah.
So
Well,
And their mothers.
they run up in your crib too.
Specifically. Yo, they do run up in your crib. They be
I
up
forgot
on
about
people.
that.
They be up on people.
You all up in this man's coffee table talking about, oh look, bro, he got his ash spilling over on his coffee table. This dude dirty. Like
Bro, I was expecting more punchline, but we'll take it.
That's how they got their jokes. They got jokes straight up. Oh, you get to go to your opponent's apartment. Yeah, to give him keys. You know, some people in there like, oh man,
I didn't pick up the clothes off the ground.
oh man.
Got my body pillow out.
It would have been wild. To be like, your body pillow. You got the lotion sitting on the side of the bed. They're like, oh, this person ain't even ashy all the time. You see how much lotion he got? Oh, wait.
This dude's super moisturized.
Super moisturized. Or in the opposite, they're like, yo, this dude always crusty. Why is the lotion sitting right by the bed with a box of dishes? Curtains.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely curtains. You know all the jokes that would come from that?
Do you think it can survive today?
Yo mama?
Yeah.
I don't know. On the internet for sure. Not on MTV. MTV ruined everything. They were just like, let's just stop putting music videos out. And they were like, all right, bet. Let's just destroy what the actual network's about.
True.
I don't think that's what he meant.
That's not what I meant.
Wait. What do you mean? Yo mama would survive today as a show?
SJWs. Political correctness and all that jazz.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay. As a show, like I said, it would survive on the internet, but like it only in certain doses. Like you got to think about it like this: comedians are in a class of their own. They literally get, oh God, no, I dropped my my Carmex just fell off the dang.
Through the crack.
It just rolled into oblivion. I'll get it later, hopefully. But yes, as I was saying, on the internet it can survive because there are platforms like TikTok and Instagram and things like that. People would take things in like short snippets and they would know what its intent is. It's intentionally supposed to be like a little vulgar and funny, and certain things work that way. Like I was going to say about comedians, they're kind of in a class of their own. Like some of them are just hilarious. The older ones, like intentionally, unintentionally offend people, but like nothing's stopping them from doing it. They're comics. If they hold it and try to make it casual in the way that they do it, that's when people try to like come after it because, as you said, SJW is, oh no, you can't say certain things and certain people, political correctness. Oh, you can't say. It's literally a comedy show.
Yeah.
There are comedians all the time just saying all sorts of things about people, as long as they aren't like directly and awful about like, you know, sexism, racism, or things like that. You're probably going to get away with a lot of stuff if its intention is purely a joke and if you have enough credibility.
That's, you know, it's interesting because the I have this conversation with a lot of people sometimes because there'll be a lot of older people who will come at me uh talking about, oh well, you know, you can't just say anything these days. You know what I mean? Like we're just joking around, but you know, people will get legitimately offended. And I'm like, okay, like first off, I'm not really entertaining this argument because you're just trying to use me, a minority, as an excuse to validate your racism. And I'm not about to do that. But what I always tell people is, to me it's about intent. It's like you said, it's about intent, and it's about the purpose behind whatever it is. Uh because in context, you know what I mean? Just generally just context. Because words can have varying degrees of power, but at the end of the day, words are just words. You know what I mean? It's like, and the same word can mean completely different things if you just say them different ways.
Word?
Word. But it's like, you know, the way I compared it to, and there's actually, like, not to like take it like super serious, but Ta-Nehisi Coates, who writes the Captain America comics and a bunch of other amazing stuff that you should check out. Shout out to Ta-Nehisi Coates. You're amazing, and I love everything you do. But he has this video, and he gets asked the age-old question. You know, he's giving a lecture at a college, and he's taking questions from the audience. And one of the audience members asks him, "It's like, you know, if I'm singing a rap song, it's a white student." He's like, and she's like, "If I'm singing a rap song and I know the N word's about to come up, like, why can't I say it? I'm just singing the song." And you know, uh, like, I don't want to misquote him. Like, that clip is amazing, but and maybe we could pull the clip up, but like, to get back to my original point, it's all about context. Like, I can see homie on the street, and you know, he's like, you know, "What up, my ninja?" You know what I mean? I'm substituting the word, but you know what I mean? I know there's no animosity there. You know what I mean? It's whatever, we do that all the time. But if he like bumps into me and it's like, "Sup, ninja?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, the inflection, the tone, it's all different. You know what I mean? Like, the intent there is not, you know, friendliness. It's, you know, it's aggressive. You know what I mean? So I do think that. So like, I'm not gonna get offended at words that or like if we're talking about an offensive word in the context of now word is I feel like if we're talking about when not to use the N word. Hold up. If I said it in the context of the conversation about the word, I'm not going to be upset because we're literally discussing the word. Now, if you use the word in order to describe me with the intention of being disrespectful, that's when I'm going to have a problem because now I know your intent is to disrespect me, not to talk about the word.
Right.
Like so the word itself doesn't offend me. Like, and that's how I feel like it is with a lot of terms and words and phrases that are traditionally considered quote unquote trigger words for quote unquote SJWs, is because a lot of the times I feel like the people who get called SJWs aren't actually offended by most of the things people think they are. It's the context and the intent. And it's like, I don't know if I've said this on here before or not, but and I'm not trying to run on a super long tire, so this is gonna be my last piece. But back when I used to work at Dairy Queen when I was in high school,
I was like, wait, what?
I was the first black person to ever get hired there, and I worked with uh all white teenage girls, with the exception of one girl who was Indian. And I remember I was working a shift with two of the white girls, and one of them asked me, "It's like, why can you guys say the N word and we can't?" You know, and the way I explained it to her back then, which Ta-Nehisi Coates sort of echoes that similar sentiment in this video.
Should we watch it?
But well, let me just. But what I said was, uh, women use the B word to refer to themselves and each other in a joking way, or like, an endearing way, or that's my B, I'm that B, stuff like that. And they don't mean anything harmful by it. And that's not like exclusionary to a specific race. Like all women do it. Well, not all women, but women of different backgrounds do it. And I'm like, it's the same thing as the N word. If your intention is just to joke around or like, laugh about it, it's whatever, and you're not gonna get offended when you call each other that word. But if I was to do it regardless of my intent, it would be grounds for me to be fired. So but anyway, he explains it better than I do. Sorry, internet, for rambling.
When I hear my
For whatever
friends
reason,
use this word in a
dancing
song.
in the window.
I don't know
Go
what
ahead.
to do when it's all the time.
Words don't have meaning without context, okay? My wife refers to me as honey. That's accepted and okay between us. If we were walking down the street together and a strange woman referred to me as honey, that wouldn't be acceptable. The understanding is I have some sort of relationship with my wife. Hopefully I have no relationship with this strange woman. It's the same thing with words within the African American community or within any community. My wife, with her girlfriend, will use the word bitch. I do not join in. I don't, say, hey, I don't do that. I don't do that. And perhaps more importantly, I don't have a desire to do it. You understand? I had a good friend who used to have this cabin in upstate New York, which he referred to as the white trash cabin. He was white. I would never refer to that cabin. I would never tell him I'm coming to your white trash cabin. I just wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? I think you understand why I wouldn't do it. The question one must ask is why so many white people have difficulty extending things that are basic laws, of how human beings interact to black people. And I think I know why. When you're white in this country, you're taught that everything belongs to you. You think you have a right to everything. You have a right to go where you, I mean, you're conditioned this way. It's not, because your hair is a texture or your skin is light. It's the fact that the laws and the culture tell you this. You have a right to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, be however, and people just got to accommodate themselves to you. So here comes this word that, you feel like you invented. And now somebody will tell you how to use the word that you invented. Why can't I use it? Everyone else gets to use it. You know what? That's racism that I don't get to use it. That's racist against me. I have to inconvenience myself and hear this song and I can't sing along? How come I can't sing along? You know what I mean? And I think, for white people, I think the experience of being a hip-hop fan and not being able to use the word is actually very, very insightful. It will give you just a little peek into the world of what it means to be black.
So what do you think?
Nice.
We mad quiet.
Head.
I'm trying to hear what you guys think.
No, that is exactly right. People just, in that sense, they just assume that it's okay just because the context is me singing a song. But like, truly, I feel like there's, out of all the words, like he was saying, there's nobody who wants to say it more than just people that shouldn't be saying it. It's of vocabulary. Like, I'm not gonna, like, as you were saying, as he said earlier, like, yeah, what's up, my bitches? Like, you're not gonna just randomly walk up to people and say that, because they're gonna look at you like, who are you? What's good?
Yeah.
What's good? Like, you're gonna start problems, so it doesn't work. They got to do better.
And see, like, for real, that argument is like my literal go-to argument when I have to explain this to white people. Because, and like 9 times out of 10, if I try to come at it any other way, they don't understand me. And literally, I have to equate the N-word to the word bitch. Whereas, like he was saying, like, women call each other bitches all the time in a joking or endearing fashion, the same way we use the N-word. And they don't get this. There was more to that. Like, that clip was kind of like chopped up.
Yeah.
But something that was also in the full version of that video is when white people do that with the word bitch, the same thing that we do with the N-word, there's no like clap back from society. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody telling people that, like, oh, y'all shouldn't be using that word to describe each other. You know what I mean? It makes us not want to take you seriously, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, so why is it that, like, only black people have a hard time when we do stuff like that? Like, other people do the same type of shit. You know what I mean? And it's not exclusively women with the word bitch. Like, there's other examples. But yeah, like, I don't think that people are as offended by things as people think they are. I think it literally comes down to intent. So, like, yeah, I do think brash or vulgar comedy can survive in today's generation, but again, like, the intent and the context matter.
Yeah.
It's like, is your comedy only funny because it's racist, sexist, homophobic? Or because, like, you can be vulgar and not be like a racist homophobe. You know what I mean? Like, you could be vulgar and not be transphobic. You can be vulgar and not be sexist. You know what I mean? Like there is a difference, and people immediately jump to, oh, well, I can't call somebody, the N-word, therefore, like, people don't accept, like, comedy the way they used to. I'm like, bro, like there's hella people still funny. There's hella people still telling dirty jokes. You know what I mean? Like,
There's definitely a lot of different avenues that they can take instead of just focusing on that. Because like the whole video, I understand what they're saying and whatnot. I agree with that. My whole the thing I don't quite agree with is um I don't understand why it's so important. Like as you said earlier, like we give power to a word,
yeah,
and I know not everyone thinks of the word the same way. Like for me, I rarely use it. Only time I use it is if like I'm with friends and someone does something stupid. Like I might use the word.
Facts.
But aside from that, I'm not using a word in replace of or you know what I mean or you know what I'm trying to say. It's not just like
yeah.
I don't use it as a sentence enhancer, as SpongeBob would say or Patrick would say. Like I don't use it ever in that way. So for me,
Sentence enhancer.
so for me, it's not that important of a word. Like I've never been called it outside of I guess black people. So aside from that, I don't know. I don't give too much power to it. It's weird when I do hear it, but like
I've heard it,
it's
and
not too big.
I've heard it used in reference to me before, both in the casual uh, form between black people, and then I've heard it used in a derogatory fashion towards me
Hmm.
coming from white people.
Hmm.
And like you said, it is about context because the thing is, if somebody was to call me like stupid, you know what I mean, I would be just as upset as I would if somebody were to use that word
Hmm.
because the intention is disrespect. You know what I mean? So, like the word itself doesn't really matter that much to me. The intention, the intention that the person has is to disrespect me, and that's what I actually give a shit about.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
It is what it is though. Like it's slowly phasing out and people are understanding more just being able to talk about it like this. So I think eventually we won't have to worry about it nearly as much. It's just about pretty much everything else that's going on in this day and age. So, you know, it just leaves out the room like Danny does. Anywho, let's move on to something lighter. I don't know what the lighter is.
Something light.
Something light, and then we'll jump into the love.
Something light.
Something light.
No one's catching that.
Nah.
Wow.
What
Should
was
I
it?
force that it is just something light?
I'm not even
Is it,
doing it because y'all get on me every time I do this shit. Now
is it Tarife?
y'all just Street Faye is dead. I buried him.
That is not light.
Freaking old.
That is darker than black. That is the darkest, deepest, darkest black. Midnight.
Can black be a bright color?
I don't know.
No.
Can you feel the wind at night?
Bro, we ain't gonna talk about that anymore. That was a
When's the last
legitimate
time it was
question.
windy at night? I was like,
That was a legitimate question, bro.
when you feel the wind at night, it completely stops. It doesn't exist at night. Wind goes to bed at night.
Wind is nocturnal, dude. Or it's not nocturnal.
It's the opposite of nocturnal. What is
Bro,
your daytime creature?
got me
Is there a
looking at
word for it? Vocab words. Here we go.
opposite. What's your guess?
What is the
Oh, there is a word for it.
antonym for nocturnal?
There is a word for it.
Dayturnal.
What you got, Liggett? What's your guess?
For the vocab word of the day,
Yeah.
It's not dayturnal. I just made that up.
sextacular.
Okay.
Sextacular
It's exactly what it was.
is the opposite of nocturnal. I'm gonna let you run that.
It's diurnal, diurnal, diurnal. Never in my life.
I've never heard that word uttered by anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, use it in a sentence. It's about to be real. I'm about to drop this on my whole family. You know, at times I am diurnal, but forever I shall be nocturnal. They'll be like, "What are you speaking of?"
I'd be so concerned for you.
Sounds like I'm giving it all up.
I'm going to die Ernal. All right.
And nocturnal
Tell us about this show, dude. You didn't give us a full synopsis.
of the
Oh,
show
yeah.
that we did. Well, so as you know, I DJ and a music maker of sorts, and me and Larry came together last year. Um, actually, we actually did one before that in like February um, of 2020. And it was going to be a venue that we were going to, but it turned into a house party. But this time we went on our own back in Harrisburg in November and through an event called Corporate Thugs and Colleagues.
Hmm.
So it's colleagues as it's a play on the fact that we are corporate thugs. And if you are in the business world and that nature, you will have, you know, business partners, you will have coworkers, or in our case, colleagues, because it just rolls off the proverbial tongue, as they say. This time, we did it yesterday, and we bought a different cast of DJs for the day show, and we actually had an after party. The day show was really really good. It was a free event. Excuse me. And we held it at Reservoir Park in Harrisburg. It's the exact same place we held the last one. We brought some of the our crew out from the venue. They did all the production for the show. They had the sound. They did some new installations on the stage. It was really really nice. I gotta send you some of that stuff so you know you can see it. And the show went on pretty well. Everybody threw some heat. We had about, I don't know, I think roughly 75 85 people come to it. We did like a donation raffle. We raffled off a paint pour that was made by one of my friends, and it had like the Corporate Thugs Colleagues logo on it,
Word.
and all the artists and production team and all the vendors had them sign it for that. We gave away a shirt as well that another one of our friends who was also vending there, that they made for us. It's basically a corporate thug. It's a character on it with the ski mask, the tie, bulletproof vest, and sitting there on the decks. It's really cool looking. I don't even have that shirt, and somebody else has it, so I don't even got one. I'm tight. And we also gave away some sauces from another one of our vendors. Um, and I'll send you all that info if you want to share them. Julia, it was J Rose Studios did the T-shirt. Books of Art, that's my friend Bridget there. She did the painting and the paint pour and the decal and all that. And then Melly Kosher's Flavors. That's who gave away the sauce. A lot of our friends threw down. The only issue that we had was in the beginning of our set. Like we got into the first transition and boom, power went out. It was like oh, we're going full power mode. Like it was so bright during the day, we didn't get to use a lot of the other, the other mapped out programming for the lights and the VJ. When it did get darker, we got everything going, and I think that might have been the issue. There was too much power. It was funny because we were playing Chief Keef, and it was like, yeah, we were there. I don't like what's going on, and we were transitioning to it, and Larry dropped this banging ass dubstep track, and then
Can't control it.
darkness, power went off, and we were kind of both like, what just happened? Like some of the lights were still going, the other ones were not going, and we kind of just looked at each other. We're like, okay, we lost power. Where's it at? Is it just a power strip? Something unplugged. The guys at the venue were really, really dope. They got on stage. They started troubleshooting. We ended up knocking out the power on one wall, so the one side of the wall just completely lost power. And then we got it back up, switched everything to the other side, and barely 5 minutes later, not even, probably like 2-3 minutes later, we lost power on that side because everything was overloaded.
Mm-hmm.
So everything went down for a little bit, but we did, try to recover. We had a bunch of other technical issues after that. But all in all, it was still a really dope event. A lot of people went there, had fun. Some people came to the after party, and after party went on without a hitch. The biggest problem was like running everything over from the park to the venue, which was at HMAC, and we had we ran on a little bit longer than we wanted to because we had to do that move. So I had to run straight to HMAC, drop everything off, get our next set of DJs rolling for the after party, and that was a good show. That was a really good show. So overall, a really awesome event, a great learning experience for sure, and something that we will, try to iron out those electrical issues with the next installment if we go back to the park. So more than likely, we're going to go back to the park. It's like a mainstay, but we have some other ideas in mind for what we want to do later in the summer. So definitely tell you guys about that when we were ready to reveal them.
I'm hyped for you, bro.
Thank
I'm happy
you.
to see you out here shining and grinding. You know what I mean?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that stuff takes a lot of
Definitely.
planning and whatnot. So.
Oh yeah. All day I was like anxiety. Anxiety is like my best friend. Straight up. It's what's the little mosquito from what's that show called?
Little
Big
mosquito.
Mouth.
Oh.
Well, the anxiety mosquito or something like that. Follow me around all day. I've never gotten anxious in life, really. And then next thing you know, boom, you're planning stuff that's big. We're gonna be about you all day, and I'm just like, I need to relax. I need to take a breath.
Well, I'm proud of you. Let me just say that. I don't know if I said that specific string of words in that order, but I am like hella proud of you and your creative drive and your motivation motivates me to, better myself and, make an attempt to do the things that I care about. So I'm proud of you and I'm thankful for you and your ambition and your passion for what you love.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna say ditto. That's a lot of words.
Yeah.
But
If you did not know Liggett Street Fae was full of them, you have tons of words in there.
it's definitely cool
Tons
to
of words.
it's cool to see the homies do things that they're passionate about. Like that's always the number one thing. Get your homies to do things they love. That way they can learn to love life a little bit more. So
Love life,
Definitely-
y'all. Do
Definitely
what you
got some
want.
words in me, all right, and y'all gonna find out soon enough.
Oh God.
what the heck?
No,
How am I supposed to figure that out?
I didn't mean for that to sound as aggressive.
Do they
as
slide out pretty?
You have some words for you.
Can they?
Y'all gonna find out.
Do they slide out
I
easily?
Nah, I
Aggressive
meant in a creative sense. That's what I meant. That was- but I'm proud of you too, Tevin. You out here
Don't do that. Don't do that.
actually doing
Yeah,
the
don't
thing.
do that.
Don't do that. I don't need that right now,
Okay,
Shush.
you gonna get it anyway.
I appreciate
You gonna
it,
catch this. You gonna catch all my pride.
bro. The weird thing for me, I guess we're just gonna move on to love after this. But the weird thing for me is like, the more compliments I get, the more big-headed I get, and the more careless I get. So like, I don't need any of that.
He said, I need to stay humble.
I need to stay humble for real.
I need to doubt myself
Okay,
daily.
well, you deserve a cookie every once in a while. You know what I mean?
As
For
long as
sure.
it's oatmeal raisin, that's all. I need.
Oh, why would you ever
It's
do
the best
that to yourself
cookie.
when
Bro,
you
don't
can have-
disrespect oatmeal raisin.
Thank
It's not a
you.
disrespect thing. You said as long as it's oatmeal raisin. Bro, we got the candy cookies. You got straight up sugar cookies. You got the double chocolate chunk. And then you have the godsend that is a snickerdoodle. And you gonna tell me you gonna pick oatmeal raisin
First of
over
all,
a
how dare
snickerdoodle?
you?
Over
How
a
dare
snickerdoodle?
you,
Easily.
sir?
Easily.
Snickerdoodle. That's just a glorified sugar cookie.
Boy,
Ooh, don't do that.
it's listen. Watch your mouth. Cinnamon sugar with that enriched butter. Like, don't you ever say something disrespectful
I
about
mean, I might as well just eat
snickerdoodle.
buttered toast with some jam on it. Call it the same thing.
Oh, I guess I could just
Or the
eat
cinnamon sugar
a,
toast.
you know, I can just eat a raisin, whatever, raisin swirl piece of toast with some oatmeal on the side for breakfast, and boom, I got an oatmeal
Diarrhea.
raisin cookie.
That's
Shut
right.
up.
You
Oatmeal
gonna poop
raisin.
yourself.
Oatmeal raisin is top tier cookie.
Thank you.
No.
I can't stand y'all.
A cultured man. This savage beast with the hair.
I don't understand what you savage. Can't stand y'all.
Man, all right, we're gonna
Gonna
do
say
a.
some recklessness.
We can do a cookie tier list later on.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want a cookie tournament. Put up the brackets like it's March Madness.
Bro, what's the ratings gonna be though? Like, how are we gonna classify the cookies? How are we gonna give them
First
stats?
of all, Snickerdoodles holding down the East because y'all talking about this West Coast stuff. That oatmeal raisin.
What?
And Central can be like, I don't know, candy. We're gonna do that. And we're gonna put red velvet cookies in the South. We'll fill in the rest of the bracket somewhere.
Just random stuff.
Just random cookies.
Freaking Rice Krispie treat gets put in there
Right.
somehow.
Now it's just all cookies. There's more cookies out there. You can put the standard sugar in there somewhere. You know, it's got to be away from what its closest counterparts are. So I don't know if I feel like oatmeal raisin cookies, if it's number one in your bracket somewhere, on the other side should be some other gross cookie like a macadamia nut
No,
cookie.
no.
On the other side,
Oatmeal raisin is a dark horse.
The dark horse.
It's a dark horse.
I thought it was your number one.
Okay, it's not my dark horse, but it's other people's dark horse because a lot of people don't like it, and that's just facts. But I think they just don't like it because it's fruit inside of a cookie. Like it's the whole the mint chocolate thing.
There's like cranberry. Let's say mint chocolate.
See, exactly. It seems like an abomination. You got a sweet food and you're putting some fruit in it. Like people don't vibe with that at all.
No, but that argument doesn't make sense.
How's it not make sense?
Because people eat chocolate covered strawberries all the time.
Yeah.
That's different though.
Yeah, mint chocolate is not good at any capacity.
It tastes good. It's an abomination though.
No, it doesn't.
No,
That's
it doesn't
like
even.
putting toothpaste in Hershey's Kisses and you're just chewing on them, and it's gross. Why would you do that?
It's an abomination, but I still think it tastes good.
It should have never existed.
Nah, I'm good. I like mint and I like chocolate. Don't like them together.
We don't need those together. Certain things don't need to combine.
What if
certain things should have never dropped that dual mixtape? Never. They should have left it. They should have left it in the studio, and just like they should have kept it there. As in, you know what? We'll play it out every once in a while, but never drop.
It's like this is the extended album. Throw it on there.
Yeah, leave that EP there. They was like, let's go album mode. Let's go full album mode. They should have left it as EP. Do it up on like, not even SoundCloud. Throw that joint up on. Just, you know what?
LimeWire.
That's what I was gonna say. Let people LimeWire. I want you to be threatened.
It's gonna kill your system
with getting a virus if you try it. I want you threatened with sickness.
I just had an idea. Do y'all think it would be popping if they dropped a peanut butter and jelly cookie?
I feel like they exist. Peanut butter cookies do exist. Some of them actually have the actual peanuts in them still, which is
But
vile.
you know how like we got Uncrustables, right? And it's like a swirl, a combination of like peanut butter and jelly inside the Uncrustable. What if we had a cookie where it's like a peanut butter swirl and then a jelly swirl where there wasn't peanut butter? and then the crust is just like a regular cookie. Like,
So my
I would feel
question,
like it would just be a peanut butter cookie with jelly in it.
yeah, like is it going to
Yeah.
be filled, or is it just going
It's
to
like
be
one
like
of
some
those.
weird fake substance that acts
Have
as
you seen
jelly?
those cookies with like icing on it? Like maybe they'll do like an icing that is supposed to be like, I don't know, a grape jelly or a strawberry jelly.
no, it's the same. It would be the same way. You know how like you have like peanut butter streaks in the cookie, or like like chocolate or marshmallow or caramel. It's like how they have caramel cookies, and the caramel is kind of like baked into the cookie, and when you actually bite it, it's like in the cookie, but you
It's
can
in
see
the
like the
yeah,
caramel.
dude. It would be
Yeah,
a peanut butter cookie. The most logical way for that to happen, would be a peanut butter cookie with the jelly kind of in there.
yeah.
That's the best way that I can think of it. If you want to put peanut butter and jelly in both of them, like what kind of cookie is it then? Is it just gonna be like a sugar cookie with that in it? What's your base?
It's going to be a brick because you try to bake that with the jelly, it's going to it's going to be mad
Yeah, it's
hard.
gonna be something like that's what I'm saying. Somebody's
Man,
gonna have to
Gonna
make
be a
a
hey,
hockey
little.
puck.
hey, Smuckers, come sponsor us. Let's make a
Come
cookie
sponsor.
together.
Let's make this
That's
cookie. Make this cookie
let's
happen.
make that in perspective cookie.
In perspective cookie. An abomination.
Bro.
That cookie sounds wild.
Oh man.
Wild is all out.
All right, y'all got anything else before we touch the topic?
Let's touch on love.
Okay. Oh, as he goes. Wait for the homie to get back. I was making the chapstick.
Nah, I need to go get it. Nah, I turned on my little light
Oh,
over
word.
here because it's starting to get dark out here.
Bro, why don't you just put your back against the sky? Put your back against the house.
Yeah, literally turn your chair around.
You got this
Literally,
white
how
sky
the
behind
corner
you.
of this is, how the corner of this is, like I don't feel like adjusting everything. Plus, you're just gonna be looking in the house.
So you'd rather just be Noob Saibot.
I am the darkness. He said turn it against house. I was like, no. I want to be a special unlockable character, but you can still feel my power.
You can't be unlockable for 5 weeks straight, man.
Live here. I live unlockable.
Bruh.
Some you didn't earn me. I'm like Mewtwo.
Dang.
Who was the
Gotta go to a cave?
Who was the longest one? Who did you have to play the most matches for in Melee to unlock? Who was the last unlock? I'm pretty sure it was Mewtwo.
It might have been me too.
The most games.
I think so. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else.
Word. Well, anyway, go ahead and lead us into the next topic.
Oh man. Okay. So I kind of want to do another introduction because I'm thinking about just like cutting this part and let this be the podcast. So, and then we could just edit up the rest of the stuff. Anywho, so once again, episode 16. Everyone agree with that? Episode 16.
Yes.
Talking about love. Got my homies here. They can introduce themselves, and then I can give us a little introduction to the topic. Go ahead, Light, or somebody.
go ahead.
Dang, man,
You
every
got
time.
Put silent. I'm turning my
I'm trying
light
to
off.
be polite, man.
Are you trying to be polite?
Oh my god.
Dang.
First of all, my name is Light, and I love love, and I love loving, and I love to love. And you know what I really love? Oatmeal raisin cookies, and
God.
I don't love snickerdoodles.
Start a war. All right, how do you feel about the brookie then, Light?
It's cool. I love it.
The heck is
I
a
love
brookie?
it.
The brownie cookie.
Okay, I was making sure.
Brookie. So good. Anyway, my name is Gio. I go by Sasuke. And I'm tired of their tomfoolery. Y'all think macadamia nut cookies are good, don't you?
White chocolate. White chocolate macadamia nut.
White chocolate macadamia nut is the worst.
Hey, I love some white chocolate. Ask Danny.
Oh, oh, I'm glad she's out of the room. I want her to come in and pop you upside the head. I hope she heard that. If she heard that, she would talk on you. Actually, she wouldn't have. She passed it. Todd, Tab, come back. We need you.
Yo. Yeah, these are my homies, and I'm Tevin. Oh gosh. All right, we're going to get into this. So, like I said, main topic today is love. Um, we we all love love here, so it's gonna be interesting to get into this. I'm curious what my homies have to say. I'm curious if y'all have questions. But to get us started, we can just kind of define what love is. So I have the question of what is love? Starting.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Yes, yes.
No more. Well, love. Love and compassion. Love is a feeling that you get when you greatly enjoy something. And I say something because love can be shown to many things. It can be shown to a person, to an animal, to, I don't know, a building, inanimate objects. You can love all sorts of things. You can love life. Anything that you can like, I feel as though you can love. And yeah, it's a simple thing, love. Simple feeling you get. I feel like I'm about to go in a song. I feel like this
That's what it sounded like. I was like, hold on.
I'm about to clip that up and use that for an intro.
It's like some Wale stuff.
It's a simple thing. Yeah, go ahead though. Like, what do you think about love?
Man, you know what I love? I love coming downstairs in the middle of the night at like 2:37 a.m. Opening the fridge, seeing a fresh bag of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Ooh, that's what I love.
Real
Yes.
G's eat it directly from the block. You're a coward. Shredded cheese.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love cheese in all its forms. So my favorite color is yellow because I love cheese and cheese is
Why
yellow.
are we talking about cheese, bro?
Love food, Ted.
It's what I love.
Oh, I'm disappearing again. Bro.
Bro, but on a real note, like the homie said, love can be many things. You can love people. You can love places. You can love feeling a certain way. You know what I mean? You can love many, many things. As long as it's healthy, and it's not toxic. You get back what you put in. I support it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So keep loving, and I love you.
How do you feel about it? Look at his face. What?
Bro, y'all killing me.
I was so confused the whole time.
I am, dude. Maybe I should have been more specific with my question. This man started talking about cheese and everything. Like, bro, I understand you love cheese.
He fit the category.
It related.
I love cheese.
It related. Cheese is love.
Shrek is love.
Yeah.
Cheese is love. Cheese is life.
Bro.
Cheeses.
Cheeses. All right. So there's a bunch of different directions we can go with this. Originally, I kind of wanted to make this more general because, like, instantly when I think of love, it's always romantic love is like the number one thing that I feel society focuses on, and then it does kind of step down into, you love your family, your friends, different hobbies and whatnot. So I'll leave it up to y'all if y'all want to keep it general or if you guys want to focus in on any of these specific like subtopics.
We kind of run around,
Mm,
poke at different things, poking love out here.
okay. Well, then I have a follow-up question for you, Gio, since
What's
you
up?
kind of harped on this a little bit. Um, you said that love is a feeling.
Love isn't a feeling,
It
or is
is. You said it is a feeling.
is a feeling.
Is
Yes.
that consistent across like all those different categories? Because I've heard people say something different, and I think I have a different philosophy when it comes to that.
I don't know. Love for me, what I mean by love is a feeling. Like if you love what you do, or you love someone, or you love something, typically those are positive things that you feel within yourself. Um, I could be like, I love football, and I'm watching football. I love watching the sport. I love playing the sport. That doesn't mean you necessarily love every aspect of it. Like some people don't like to run, but they love football.
All right.
So for instance, me, I love performing. I love DJing, I love dancing. I love having a good time. Doesn't mean I exactly like everything that's happening during it. Like I don't love the problems that can occur from doing it. I don't like hurting myself if I'm going too hard and like pop a knee out of place while I'm getting down. But oh, unplugging my headphones. But love, when I'm doing those things that I enjoy, I typically feel good about them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like you have to feel the love
Can you
in your
feel it?
heart. Can I feel it?
Can you feel the
Yes.
love?
Can I feel the love? Yes, I
Nothing
feel
feels better than feeling the love.
that feeling itself is different depending on, you know, the situation. It might be warm butterflies in my stomach. It might be, I don't know, drinking water and feeling quenched. I love the feeling of hydration. Thanks.
Word. So the one thing that I don't quite agree with is the butterflies thing. Like maybe that is a sign, but I feel like that's so fickle of a thing to go off of. Cause
We
like
getting
for
the nausea
yeah,
of
cause like
love.
for me that's like nervousness, which can come in the form of just like either you're discovering something or if you're unsure of something.
I believe
I understand what you mean by that, but I also disagree.
What you got, like
I
you just
wasn't even gonna
have
I
or
wasn't even gonna go here, but like, because this only really happened to me a few times, and I guess I should take that as a sign. Um,
cool. What's up?
uh, so like with the whole butterflies thing, it's only happened to me a couple times, and the only relevant one I'm gonna talk about, I guess, or the only, I guess, really the only one I should talk about is when I met my partner for the first time, Danny, and I literally got butterflies. Like it wasn't any. You know how like sometimes you see somebody somewhere, you be like, oh, damn, they got a fatty or whatever. You know what I mean?
I've
Like
never said that in my life.
Like it wasn't even like it wasn't sexual, like it wasn't, you know, it was just like I was literally just in awe. You know what I mean? And it's like literally like you know how like you have those moments on TV where like everything just kind of slows down when the main character sees his crush walking down the hall in school. Like it was like that for me. And I was like, yo, like I gotta figure out how to talk to this girl because I am going to regret it if I don't. And that's what it was for me. And you know, so yeah, like it was the butterflies, and I just remember like, you know, talking to her, I was like, yo, like this girl is just amazing. You know what I mean? And like it wasn't like I'm a very raunchy individual. So and like people who know me know that. And like it wasn't even anything sexual. Like she literally just like had me dumbfounded. You know what I mean? And like I literally just wanted to know how to get to know this girl. So like I do think the butterfly thing is real. Like was I nervous? Yeah, but it was also like damn, like if I don't make this conversation happen, I'm literally going to regret it for the rest of the weekend. Like
Would you say that's a sign of love? The butterflies?
I mean, on the to that end, I've also like slipped up. You know what I mean? On multiple occasions. I don't know if I'd say I slipped up, but like there's been times where I'm like, okay, I've been seeing somebody for like 3 weeks, like a month or something, and I'm just like in a state of like pure bliss that like something completely random or small could happen. Uh, like I'm like, hey, can you pass me the honey mustard? And she'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, oh damn, I love you so much. And I'm just like, bro, like, why did I just say that? Like,
God damn, give me that honey mustard girl. I love you.
you know what I mean? So like, and that's the thing. It's like sometimes I'll be like, just in a complete state of bliss that it's just like, yo, this has to be love. And at least I feel that way in that moment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't really believe in the honeymoon stage. Like, yes, you are going to spend more time with your partner in the beginning stages of your relationship because one, you're getting to know each other and you are kind of riding a high. Uh, but I don't believe in the honeymoon stage.
What?
You, I don't believe in the honeymoon stage because you directly control how much time and effort you put into your relationship. And uh, the passion and the love that you have for each other will only dissipate if you stop putting in the work. You know what I mean? If you literally have to make a schedule in order to have like certain nights be date nights or whatever, then that's what you need to do. Because when I hate when people say, "Oh, well, y'all are in the honeymoon phase," and I'm like, bro, like the honeymoon phase should be as long as you want it to be if y'all are like both passionate about your relationship. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. So like yeah, like I've used the L word, what some people may consider to be premature in
Frame one.
relationships. straight up, it's
The
like the
L word
rounding.
is
The wake up
why, mother.
DP, man.
Yeah.
Wake up.
um, but at the same time, I don't think love has. I don't think that there's no time frame. Like you, people look at relationships like they got bullet points sometimes, and I don't. It doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I
some.
think that's pretty weird to do it that way.
Well, I mean, but still, like people have these rules. Like different people see it different ways. But a lot of the times I talk to people about relationships, they're like, "Oh, well, it's 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 too soon to move in with my partner yet because I have to wait till we've been together at least for like 6 months. I'm like, okay, why? You know what I mean?
I can
Like,
see
what
that
is the
being like a
difference?
safety thing for like that individual person. Like maybe they've had a bad experience in the past and they're trying to do something to keep themselves safe. Like that makes sense to me because you don't really know anybody for the longest
Well,
time.
well, I mean, I know, but it's just like different stuff happens different ways for different people.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Because
like
I know people.
they shouldn't project that on
What?
other people. So I think you're
Yeah,
pretty much saying the same thing.
yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm not trying to just ramble. So if somebody,
Yeah.
you know,
I still feel weird about the whole butterflies thing because like my whole thing with that is I do think there's a honeymoon phase. I think the honeymoon phase is like a discovering time period. I would say for me, when I'm learning something new, I'm really excited about that thing that's new. And then there gets to a point where like I'm not learning nearly as much, and so I'm less excited about that. And so to me, but I don't equate butterflies to love is the whole thing for me.
You don't equate
would you?
butterflies themselves. So what do you have like an emotion that comes over you when you're learning new things from this person? Do you feel like what do you feel like? Is it just that you're sharing knowledge? You're just discovering new things. Like you don't have a feeling about any of those situations.
Yeah, I do, but it's not like it's not predicated on the butterflies. I feel like people tend to do that at times. Like, oh, I lost this feeling of either extreme happiness or I lost this feeling of um like wanting to do stuff for this person. And like as soon as like some people, as soon as that part goes away, it's like, nope, we're done here. No
We're done.
more.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I would say the butterflies are like a situational happening for a for something. You know, you did something for this person, or you saw this person, or you saw this thing, this object, and you were just like, man, I really care about that. Like, there's nothing that moves within you when those situations arise.
Wait, is that a question?
Yeah, that, really. I was like, is there? I should word it. Is there something that moves within you? Do you feel something in your chest or in your stomach?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Like during the period and even after the period, like there's things that would happen. Like for instance, I'll give you a pretty mushy example. Okay. You remember making
Mushy.
yeah, pretty mushy. It was one of my crying times. Um, okay.
Okay.
It was super silly looking back on it, but
Crying
so
out.
you remember back in the day, like making how would I call it, like forts in the house, like sheets and whatnot, setting stuff up.
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
so what was it, like 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago or something, with Lenny when I was still up in Alaska, we ended up making like a fort or something like that with the sheets and whatnot.
You went to what?
I said we was making a fort with like the sheets and whatnot.
Cute.
We just made one on the ground and just like laid in it and talked and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, I just like felt super happy in that moment and like shed a couple tears. And so
Greatest.
it had nothing to do with butterflies. It was just like that moment there, I felt something. So to answer your question, yes, I have.
I've had moments like that, but I also have a question for you. Um, so you say that like the honeymoon effect is like towards the beginning because of the discovery, and once there's less to discover, it becomes, I don't want to say less interesting, but um, well, I guess it's not really a question; it's more of a statement. For me, it's kind of situational because there'll be some times when I'm getting to know somebody, and I'm sure they'll be like, "Oh, I don't care about this at all." You know what I mean?
I'm
And,
discovering trash.
and like legit, I will straight up tune out of conversations until I hear like a buzzword that like piques my attention. You could be like blah 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 cheese, and I'm just like,
I was just man to say
And do
cheese.
the butterflies kick back in at that point?
Nigga,
Then?
butterflies and the cheese. Oh my god.
Yeah, they have their wings are made out of Swiss cheese, but
Oh no, how do they fly?
Do they flop?
but but nah,
Nigga,
like it's
butterflies.
for me, it's definitely situational because I don't know. Again, but that's just my personal take. That's why I guess I don't really necessarily believe in the honeymoon phase because I'm just like, yo, like if I'm not interested, I'm not interested. But if I am interested and I'm invested, like I'm gonna make sure I do my damnness to like be involved. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
True.
Yeah.
At any point, whether it's 2 weeks in or 2 years in. So
Word.
Getting cheese for your birthday present, bro.
Get the
bro,
brick.
all right, bet.
Throw the brick through his window, Gio.
You
Huh?
act like I won't be excited about that.
Oh, I know you will. So I said it.
Throw a brick of cheese through his window. That's what
Do
you
a
gotta do.
brick of cheese. The whole wheel. Whole wheel
Yo, can you
cheese.
make a car out of cheese and drive that thing?
Light will try. Light will try.
Oh gosh. All right. Another random question based on what you said earlier, Gio. Love makes you not do anything.
Okay.
What is that?
So I knew you was gonna come back, and I'll be waiting on you. Today I got time. So love, like people say love makes you do the darndest things or the crazy, or kids say the darndest things, but love can make you do crazy
Oh,
things. But love can
redacted.
also,
It's redacted.
huh?
I said shows redacted.
Yeah, redacted. But like love can also make you do nothing in a sense. For instance, if you love someone or something, uh, and they have terrible characteristics, terrible traits about them, or just aren't doing the right thing at the right time. If you love them, sometimes you will stop yourself from correcting them, or you will refrain from changing them. You will allow them to stay the same because you care about them in their state. You don't want to change them. And for that, I say, hey, you love something, you sometimes you just freeze. Okay, I'm not going to do anything about this situation just because if it makes them happy or if it's their normal function or if it's what they do. Like I can't alter that. And there's good and bad situations where that happens. You know, sometimes you can love someone that has some prejudice tendencies, and that allows you to like dismiss some of what they say as in like, oh, okay, that's nothing. That's just who they are. I have friends who's like grandparents, even my like grandparents are certain ways. Like none of it really ever offended me at all. And really like it's not anything that my grandmother would have ever said that would have been like realistically wrong to me. But I know some people, they're like, man, my grandfather, piece of work when it comes to just being a good human. They're old and set in their ways, and they won't change. But you love them, you try to educate them, and they don't change. So you just you be still on that situation because you still want to love them, and they're you can only do so much to kind of take that kind of person out of your life, but you don't want to. Sometimes love will make you do nothing.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking about it from that point of view, but that makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
What was your perspective on that?
I was
I did
thinking.
it. I said it. We thought about it. And even trying to force it.
I was thinking the whole I'm stuck in the couch type type deal. But that's completely why I left. The whole we talked about this. The commercial, man.
Oh, the who the drug free America
Yeah.
girl? What is the
I,
what?
I was thinking that you're saying like there's a situation where like you love something or whatever, and it makes you absolutely just pretty much not want to live life or chill hardcore, which to a certain degree it kind of does make you chill hardcore, but I'll save that for a different time.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Like,
You got it.
I'll say, like, you know, to both of those to a certain extent, because like I've been, you know, in love to the point where like I had complete tunnel vision before. You know what I mean? Sometimes it was wholesome, sometimes it was toxic, but like maybe that's just because I'm trying to like hyper fixate on something, but like I don't pay attention to anything else. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Right.
Or like that becomes like my one priority. Or on the flip side, I'm like, damn, this thing I love is now gone, or I no longer have access to it, and like I don't want to do anything. And then like I've also seen instances like what Gio's talking about. Like I've dealt with people like that where it's like, yo, like I love you. I really don't love the shit you say. Uh, you know what I mean? And it's like at this point in my life, I have so little tolerance for people like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Where it's like, yo, like we had some good times together, but you the way you act, I can't really get down with that. So if this is gonna be how it is, then this is gonna be where we part ways, like straight up. Like, and we can just try to link back up when you decide to do something different. And if that's not what you want to do, then it is what it is.
Hmm.
So, because I've done that with friends, I've done that with family members, you know, people I've had romantic interest with or whatever, you know, and like there's been times where I've put up with things and people doing things for the sake of keeping them around because I had some type of love for that person or that relationship. But at this point in my life, I'm like, yo, like there's only a few people that I would be willing to be like, I guess that blind for, or you know, follow to that extent. Like I'm not gonna do that for just anybody, at least not anymore. Before, you know, I gave a lot of people a lot of chances in that regard, way more than they deserve. But uh, but nah, like if you, I don't care if I've known you for 15, 20 years. Like if you on some shit, then I'm like, all right, well, see you around. So,
Hmm.
He said, if you on that nut shit, I don't want no part of it.
but no, I just, and maybe it's just, um, like I know I'm a petty person, but I try to be nice to the people who are nice to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I don't play around when it comes to people attacking people that I care about. And it's like, and then you will like run and try to be friends with me. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, what we not about to do is sit here and talk about one of my good friends because you need to make conversation somehow. You know, I'm not interested in that. So if that's all we're gonna do when you're around, I'm just gonna stop coming around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if like, oh well, you never come around anymore. I'm like, oh well, you know, you like
Cause you on that
I'm not.
nut shit.
Yeah. So so I get what both of y'all are saying, and I've definitely been in both of those situations. So
Okay. I had something you said a little bit um kind of made me think about the whole cliche thing that people say, let love never dies. Is that possible? Because there's people that go through relationships, they say they love this person, I'm gonna love you forever, blah blah blah. And it's like if love is truly everlasting, then should it continue on in those cases, even after breakups and even after getting people out of your life?
I would say that's
Love can't
true.
go away. Nah, love can go away, bro. 100% go away. Um, and I will say there's even a difference between, I believe it was, I think my mom was the first person who said this to me, and I've actually said this to, you know, several people. Um, But she said, sometimes I love you. Like, I always love you, but sometimes I don't like you. Like, I think that's big. I think that's real big. And that could be, for family, that it's one thing where your family is typically always going to love you. I can't even say your extended family. I'm talking about your immediate family. They're always going to have love for you because you're a part of this. You grew up together and things like that. In a standard household, that's going to be good. But me and my brother, for the longest time, we didn't get along, like, at all. And y'all know my brother. Y'all know since, like, we didn't like each other. We are so much better now than we were when probably you guys first met us. Like, we're similar in age. Like, we competed with a lot of things. Like, things just didn't work out for us. There's other people in my life that, I might have love for them still. Like, I want to see them succeed. Like, I want them to eat, but I'm like, not at my table. Because you've done something, or you've been a certain type of way that I just can't really get down with anymore. But I still love and respect you. Like, I want you to do whatever you want to do and have, the best time doing that, but not around me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can still. I will say, love can fade. Love can go away for sure. Like, you could have people that you used to love that it just became too much, and you were like, you know what, this needs to just stop. We need to put the parking brake all the way up, not let it happen anymore.
What do you say to the people that say that if you say it was love and it fades, then was it ever love to begin with?
I would say that that's a fool's way of thinking, because everything changes. Nothing is permanent. Like, nothing in life is permanent. The only thing that's permanent, at least right now, is death and taxes. Real.
One of those could still be considered optional.
I mean, they always want it. They always want it. Let's be honest.
You don't have to
But you
avoid
don't
them.
always gotta give it.
But you might, like, but doesn't mean they always gonna get it. But they gonna remember Pepperidge Farms. You know what I'm saying? They remember. They gonna catch up eventually.
My mom always says the only things I have to do is be black and die. So,
Man,
Yo, what? You know what's funny about that?
that's
My
not
first-
funny.
That reminds me of my boy Dynamite. He's a streamer. But anytime we be playing, like, we play Destiny or whatever game, whenever he'll sign off, it doesn't matter what he's doing. He's like, it doesn't matter who he says it to. He's like, all right, y'all stay black, and just
God.
On a serious note, though, I would say that, like, something to your effect, and a little bit to your effect too, Tevin, because yeah, love can go away. And that's a very good point, because it can become this warped, twisted thing where it's like, yo, like, you really wake up and you hate seeing that person. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I hate you, and I woke up beside you.
It's like you wake up, or like you wake up and you look at somebody and you just hate. You hate that what you have now is not anywhere remotely similar to what you used to have. You know what I mean? And it's like, what is that?
He said, pressure.
No, I was saying
Oh, that's-
tunnel vision.
That's your tunnel vision. That's not even a
Yeah.
tunnel. This is.
My bad.
But yeah,
He said.
and it's like, you always hear like the stereotypes, and like you go to work, I call it like that water cooler talk, where it's like a bunch of dudes just complaining about their wives. And I'm like, bro, like, if you really gotta come to work and all you do, like, when you're not talking about work is complaining about your wife, why are y'all still married? You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want to be that person. It's like, yeah, Danny gets on my nerves sometimes, but I'm not going to be just somewhere just like talking bad about her to whoever's going to listen just because I'm irritated. You know what I mean? Like I love her. I feel like if I got to go somewhere, because like I get that people need to vent, but it's like if I got to go somewhere And as soon as anybody tries to talk to me, if the first thing out of my mouth is, "Oh, well, she did this," I can't, bro. I don't even want to go home. Like, if that's how I feel, then, bro, yeah, like I don't need to
Don't
be
go
in
home.
that real. And then
Go somewhere else.
on the other side, of that, like, yeah, love does go away because I do believe that certain types of love can last forever in a certain form, but love can also go away because there's been some instances where I was straight up sick. I associated certain things with certain people, and like I remember I used to date this girl, and she loved Inuyasha, and I loved Inuyasha, and I loved the Inuyasha theme songs, and uh, bro, when Every Heart by BOA came on, I straight up couldn't listen to that junk anymore. like, like I immediately thought about this girl, and I'm like, yo, I couldn't listen to that. I was like, I love this song, but I'm not trying to hear this. Like, and I'm just like, I couldn't separate her or my memories of her from that song for a while. And then like I was listening to my music on shuffle one day, and I was like, I was just enjoying the song, and I was like, yo, like, I don't miss her at all anymore. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that was like an amazing feeling.
Dope.
So
Yeah, because if she can take music from you, if you start hating a song or something, man,
yeah,
that's tough. That's a rough one.
that's like, when you were talking about your pillow fort situation earlier, I was thinking about like my first dance with Danny, which is always gonna be like one of my most. I don't know if that's like a sarcastic
No,
thing
I'm
or not.
laughing at my pillow
We
fort.
we laughing at that pillow fort. He was just like, man. He was like,
but
come at my pillow fort.
but nah, like legit, like that's adorable, and I don't mean that in like a
I know,
demeaning
I know,
way.
I know.
It is adorable.
It's
Uh,
funny though, for
It's
sure.
cute. It's cute.
um, but nah, like my first dance with Danny was, at a house party, and we danced in the garage. Everybody else had cleared out. We were just listening to YouTube. We were listening to music on a Bluetooth speaker, and everybody was drunk. Everybody was lit, and I had played "Fly Me to the Moon" by Frank Sinatra, and uh, that was the first song we ever danced to. And you know what I mean? Like I know that song, like I like that song, but it's not like I loved that song or anything. It's not like I was just like super in love with like Frank Sinatra music, but like in that moment, you know what I mean, it was just the feeling was right, you know what I mean? And like now I only ever think of her when I hear that song. So
No.
like there was a while that like the little rumor that like if you at like 11:11 you're supposed to make a wish. uh so like on our anniversary I would at 11:11 p.m. I would have an alarm set, and at literally on the dot at 11:11 I would play "Fly Me to the Moon" by Frank Sinatra and just feel like I love you, like bro.
Did you put the Carmex on?
I do got the Carmex on. Look, I gotta go find it still. I'm gonna run out and do it. It's getting dark.
Bro, that's what's up,
Mhm.
man.
Yo, you mad cheesy, my guy.
Yeah. A little bit
Hella
cheesy
cheesy
core.
you are.
I am cheesy.
He big
That's all I
Gouda
do.
right now.
Big Gouda.
Oh my gosh, I gotta show you guys this video with this dude named Pubby Longboy. Pubby Longway. Longboy.
So like a puppy.
Longboy. Longboy is what people call me all the time. It's hilarious. But Pubby Longway, and he says, he's talking about Gruyere, and he says, Gruyere. Gruyere. It's hilarious. It's on IG, but maybe we can find it on like YouTube or something. I'll look it up.
I'll check it out. Okay, I have one last question. I have a twisted mind, and I see the world differently, so bear with me. Um, so I'm just going to throw it out straight up. Is there a difference between love and dependency?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can answer that straight off the bat without even getting my feelings involved, just from a logical standpoint. Of course there is.
How would you? Okay, I could just go ahead and answer this the way I thought about it. Okay, so the the thing that made me think about this was when I was in college. I was rooming with a friend I so happened to make like my senior year just randomly. This girl named Morgan. She like hit me up on my birthday, said happy birthday. I like never talked to her before ever in my life. I was just like, who is this girl? But we were chatting for like the next couple of weeks or whatever. And then a little bit after that, like she asked to hang out and we hung out and whatnot, and then like became like super good friends. But that was just precursor to her how we met. And then after that, that summer I think I needed a place to stay, and she was already about to room with one of her teammates. She was on the gymnastics team. Um, so I was staying with her for like 2 months during summer as I was working a job, which she helped me get. So like I really appreciate her. Um, and she had a bunny, and she ended up going down to Hawaii to visit some family, and I had to take care of the bunny while she was gone. And that bunny got sick, and I didn't know what to do because homegirl was just chilling, like not moving or anything. I was trying to give it some hay, it's still just chilling, not moving or anything. I was touching it, still just chilling in the same spot. So I was like, okay, what the heck's going on? Because I don't know what's going on with this bunny. It's just chilling. It's not eating. It's not drinking water. Just chilling in the same spot. So I took it to the vet, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." I had work the next morning. Like I had to get up at like 5 to get to the place I work at, and I was at the vet all night. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is how my parents might feel. Like if I had to eat, if I had some type of medical emergency and they took me to the ER and I had to go to work the next day or something like that, like that's when I was like, oh, there's tears to how love is. And like for me, the most I feel like the most what's the word? The strongest type of love I feel is the love a parent can have for a child. It's not consistent across every single family. I would say that first, but I feel like that type of love, when you do see it, is like the most powerful thing because like in that moment I was like, I'm taking care of this bunny. I don't care about how I feel about this. I don't care about like how much money it's gonna cost or anything. Like I want to make sure this bunny is okay, and then from there we can move on. And like that was the moment I understood, and I was like, okay, I respect my parents a lot more. Like I understand how this feels. Um, but yeah, and so comparing that to like some things I've felt for other people, like being in relationships and whatnot, like some people get in relationships, and for myself as well, like got into a relationship, was lonely, depending on this person to give me attention and all that stuff that I felt like I needed to thrive in life. And it's like to me those are two completely different things. Like now when I look at relationships with people, I I don't desire anything from them other than like interaction with them. Like you don't have to buy me nothing. You don't have to like show me a whole bunch of attention all the time. You don't have to um, give up other things for me. Like I try to love someone freely, if that makes sense. Like you are your own person. I don't have to take stuff away from you. You don't have to take stuff away from me, hopefully. And so pretty much what I'm getting at is like there I feel like there's a hierarchy of how people choose to love people and kind of just fall into loving people.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I definitely do think that people have a tendency to fall into dependency, thinking that it's love. Because I sort of had a situation almost exactly like that,
Mm,
whereas like I was dating this girl for literally a few weeks, and my home situation was so undesirable that this girl got fired, and like some of y'all know the story, and some of y'all don't. But this girl got fired 3 weeks into us dating, and I was like, she had her own place, and I was like, all right, well, I'll move in with you, and I'll help you pay all your bills. And I was like, at the time, like we were having sex like numerous times a day. The relationship was extremely physical, and um, I'm just like, at that time, it happened to be convenient for me because I didn't want to be at home anymore. And I'm just like, all right, well, she just lost her job. How am I supposed to stay her boyfriend and not like help her out anyway? That didn't make sense to me. So I was like, all right, I'll move in with you. I'll help you pay your bills till you get back on your feet. And it turned into me helping her to me paying all the bills. And we did that for 8 months. And like when I knew it was a dependency thing, like she was dependent on me for paying her bills. But I was dependent on her because I was basically using her to avoid moving back in with my mom. You know what I mean? And but the thing is like I would come home, like we would argue every day, and I would come home and just like she would treat me the worst type of way, like I was just a paycheck after a certain point. And like I remember towards the end, I was like, "Yo, this is dead." Like we were sleeping in different rooms, and I'm thinking about like moving out, and I'm just like, "Yo, like." Because at that point I had never been in a relationship where ending the idea of ending the relationship brought me the biggest sense of relief. You know what I mean? Usually, if I'm in a relationship and things are starting to go bad, like my thought process is usually like, okay, well, we still haven't tried X, Y, and Z to make things work. But with this particular relationship, I was like, nah, like I'm legitimately thinking about moving out without any type of hesitation. And then I did, and I felt absolutely no regret. I didn't feel sad about the loss of the relationship at all. You know what I mean? So like there was no mourning period, there was no like playing, So Sick by Neo, like none of that. Like
Cry Me a River.
uh so like that relationship was, we were both dependent on each other for different reasons. Uh and I let her use me because I wanted somewhere to stay. You know what I mean? And like I can say that clearly now. Uh, but in the moment, I was literally just acting from a habitual nature. And I'm just like, okay, well, this is the way it is. This is where I live. This is my girlfriend. So, I have to try to preserve, and maintain these things that I have like established for myself, not realizing that they really didn't mean anything,
Mm.
you know. So, so I do think that people can fall into habits, and you get so used to your habits that you stop seeing what's healthy for you and what's not. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And at that point, you're just doing it because you've been doing it forever, and that's something I can't really get behind. But I mean, I've done it. You got to know when to break away from that, and that's something that I think people get confused for love. It's like, yeah, like the love may have been genuine at one point, but it's not now. But you're so used. This is for it's not love anymore. It's just familiarity, and familiarity isn't always good for you. You know what I mean? So
Got anything, Gio?
I had something similar, like similar to that situation, that I was a part of, but it's very fresh, so we're not going to dive into that.
Word.
So, um, but I had something happen to me a while ago that was similar, but I will say it was a little bit. The difference was she was already, she was as established as she could be for the time she was in it. But I was feeling not only just a role to her, I was feeling a role to her kids. And for me, like I wasn't necessarily I wasn't necessarily against the situation. Like I was like, yeah, playing stepdad isn't terrible. Like I had already been coaching, I've been teaching, so like, oh, this is just an extension of this person that I care about. So like you're a little person, but I love your mom, so I'm gonna figure this stuff out. It got to the point where she would use the children against me, and I wasn't really cool with that. I'm at work and I can't make it to a baseball game, and you're getting mad at me about that. I was like, well, first of all, I'm your boyfriend. I'm not their father, and I also have work. So, like, I can't drop everything. I would love to be there for that person. I'd love to be there for the kid, but I can't exactly stop my life for that because I'm new to this. I'm new to this whole situation. Like, you can't treat me the same way you were treating, you know, that child's father in those situations. Like, yeah, they should be there loving and supporting their child during this situation. But me and where I am, like, I just met little dude. Sorry if I can't make it to all the things. I feel terrible that you are now using that against me, saying that I'm not a good boyfriend because you see my kids. That doesn't work. So yeah, I do understand when you get into those situations where love can be weaponized, it'll not make you feel good.
Hmm.
How about you, Tev? You got anything like that?
Love being weaponized.
Yeah.
There's not anything I can think of because I've only been in like two real relationships. Well, two relationships. Um,
Well, even it doesn't even really have to be a relationship. It might even or something that you were involved in. Like, what was it? Something that you've seen that is like a clear case of, oh well, that shouldn't be happening, but I guess it's because they love each other.
the only thing I could really come up with, which I think is pretty consistent, is just jealousy in general. Sometimes I feel like it's warranted being cautious about somebody hanging out with like a somebody of the opposite sex. Like sometimes it's warranted, but I feel like a lot of times it's a little bit overdone. Um, like if there's a history of it, of someone cheating or something like that, then I can see that being an issue. Or if there's a history of, you know, um, over putting too much importance on somebody other than, let's say, like your kids or something like that, or like your wife or whatever. Like I understand being upset about those situations, but but again, I just don't like the whole idea of you're a human being and you have like a lot of different needs. Like it doesn't have to be sexual stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be like physical touch. It doesn't necessarily have to be conversation. Sometimes it's just about common interests at times. Sometimes you want to do your own thing. You want some time to yourself. Um, And I think that's one of the things that I could probably speak on a little bit. Like for me, if I get stressed out, there's a point in time, play video games, or I want to play with other people that play video games. And I know individuals have gone through this, and I feel like I've taken some slack for this as well. Like I'll play video games either with somebody, sometimes that's okay, a lot of times that's okay. But as soon as you play video games by yourself, then it's just like all of a sudden that's a problem. Because like
Yeah.
you could be hanging out with me, and I'm just like, how's that an issue? Like I'm not doing anything wrong. I like alone time. I'm a different person. Like I don't have
That's
to
how
act specifically like everybody else does, or like whoever the issues with. Like, but that's like what?
that's literally how that ex that I was just describing was. I played games for myself for about an hour, and she'd be like, "What are you doing? Like you've been playing that game for 2 hours." I'm like, bro, it's like not even been an hour. Like if before I was living with you, I'd be on this game for like 6 hours at a time. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is how I spend time with my friends. You know, and y'all know that's when I pretty much disappeared when we went from playing Xbox together every day to like I wasn't on anymore at all.
Light strife. Not seen. Last seen 8 months, 9 months ago.
Yeah, and I'm
That's what
just
my dog looks
like,
like right now. I'll say last seen 5 years ago.
Oh.
All right, I'll see you later.
yeah. So like that's crazy. And then like what you were saying about like the whole jealousy thing, it's like she would cheat on me, and I'd never had like concrete proof. I was suspicious, but at the same time, I'm the type of person I'll be completely trusting until you give me a reason not to be. But I'm also the type of person to hold grudges. So once you break that trust, like, oh, it's never gonna be the same. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And like I caught her, but again, like she was going out, she was leaving to go places at 3 a.m. to hang out with friends, not coming back until like 7 or 8 in the morning. It became more and more frequent. And finally, and there's a big discussion about whether or not this was the right thing to do. But I went through her phone and I found the proof. You know what I mean? Like I found the proof. And then she got mad at me for going through her phone. And like she felt this like, okay, like yeah, you violated my privacy. And I'm like, bro, you're literally cheating on me. And you're talking about how you can't trust me. You know what I mean? So, and then like I would go over to like hang out with my boys. We would go like watch like The Flash or Arrow or whatever at one of my friends' house, and she'd be like, "Well, why are you not inviting me?" And I'm like, "You don't watch The Flash, like." uh, and she's like, "Well, how do I know you're really not going over to like see some woman or whatever?" I'm like, "Bro, are you serious right now?" Like, so that's the type of
Yeah.
like yeah, like I get people are jealous. You know what I mean? I try not to be. Like, if you give me a reason to be jealous, then yeah, I'm gonna be. Or if you give me a, paranoid or whatever,
Mm.
like I will give you the full benefit of the doubt, and I will trust you completely until you give me a reason not to be. Like, I get that there's like a difference in like, okay, for me, there's a difference in being protective of your identity and your stuff, and being completely suspicious for no reason. Like, I get that like your stuff is your stuff and you don't really want anybody touching it, you don't want anybody in your personal business. But like, if I sit down on the couch and your phone happens to be there and you make like this dramatic movement to like get your phone away from me and I had no intention of looking at it whatsoever, now I'm going to be suspicious because now it looks like there's something you don't want me to find. You know what I mean?
I get that. I picked
Or
up a lot of like the nervous ticks.
yeah, or like if you're
before.
on your phone and I sit down next to you and like we're watching TV and you make an effort to turn your phone screen away from me when I'm not even looking at it, I'm like, okay, that's a little odd. You know what I mean? Like, why can't you just trust that I'm not reading your messages? Like, that makes me feel like you're intentionally trying to hide something.
Yes, I get
So,
that happening. I used to have that happen a lot, and at a point I was just like, "What you looking at? What's up?"
but
I mean,
that's
the
the thing.
whole phone thing for me is weird anyway. Like I feel like if you're in a room with somebody, for the most part,
Get a phone.
be be
Oh
present.
my gosh.
Be present.
Yo, I
Like,
hate
and
that
if
joke
I'm
so
dating you,
much.
and if I'm dating you, you
Oh,
on your phone the entire time, like we're in the room together, I'm like we must not be very interested in each other. Like,
Yeah.
or somebody's bored or something. I'm like, yo, if you don't play chess or watch TV together or do something, who gives
I
a
can't
fuck?
stand, like, we're
Oh,
literally
like,
watching a movie.
talking to other people all the time for it, and then you go hide your phone.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, what you looking at?
Yeah.
my God.
Well, she,
I've had girlfriends literally look in my phone as I'm texting someone or like
yeah.
sending like a snap or something like that, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? But then I'm just like, also in the same sense, I'm like, what were you expecting to find?
Well,
What
I
were you?
see. I used to make a point to do that because I used to make a point in front of certain exes. I would text on purpose so they could see what I was doing. Like at least in the initial stages, because I'm like, yo, in my head, I'm like, this is me showing you that you have nothing to worry about. You know what
Right.
I mean? And like, I used to think that that was something I should just do in order to gain their trust. But now I'm like, initially, like, if we're together, like, you should trust me to some extent. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, if you really are doubting me with no reason every time I pick up my phone, then we shouldn't be talking. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like, I know some people have different opinions about going through their partner's phones or, that type of stuff. But I'm just like, yo, she really got she really got more mad at me for going through her phone. Like that, like she tried to turn me finding proof that she was actually cheating on me into, well, it doesn't matter that I was cheating on you because you went through my phone. So like
You wouldn't have found out
that's
I was
where
cheating
Yeah,
if you weren't a sleuth.
it's your fault.
It's your fault you
You
found
caused
out I was cheating.
your own demise,
I'm
so
cheating because
that's
I can't trust you.
bro.
yeah, and that's like a big thing for me is honesty. That's like I don't have a lot of like rules or conditions, going into a relationship. Usually the only thing I'll say is just be honest with me from the jump. Because if you hide things from me and it comes out later, I'm gonna be upset. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like if we have differences or differences of opinion or whatever, like that's fine. We can handle it, but we gotta have a conversation about it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if you establish from the jump what you expect out of your partner and like what you're willing to put up with versus what you're not, uh, crossing those boundaries later down the road is going to be less of an issue because for the most part your partner is going to already expect what you know what you want and don't want from them
Hmm.
versus like stuff isn't established and now you got to talk about it and now you're both mad because something happened that you didn't talk about.
Hmm.
But yeah, honesty is like my biggest thing because
Yeah,
like I will give most people the benefit of the doubt, but once you start lying to me and you start hiding stuff, like it's pretty much a done deal.
yeah, for sure. I've definitely lied and got blown up for it, so I'm gonna hold that L. I'm gonna hold that L.
Yeah, you gotta hold that L. You know, I had someone tell me, "Oh, I wasn't lying. I was just withholding the truth." I was like, "Well, I just don't see how you don't think that's a lie,
Yeah,
but we gonna be all right. You're not, we go. We are now separate ways. So,
Alright. Well, that's about all the questions I had. If y'all want to hit up anything else, we can. Otherwise, we need a song to ride out to.
what? Let's ride it.
I
Let's do it. Yep.
thought
You know
about
what
it. You doing it?
You know where we're going. Go ahead. Do it. It's either that or we're gonna hit up Drake, Fake Love. One of the two. One of the two. Because that's what we've been talking about.
I feel safer with What Is Love.
What is that? Baby, don't hurt me.
I mean, we still gonna get hit with the copyright.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Drake's gonna be frame one, dude. Can I get extended? Is there extended?
Is there like an 8-bit remix of like What Is Love or something?
Ooh.
You know?
Let's check SoundCloud and see what we got on.
Yeah, I mean, so we don't get hit with that copyright. Is there a lo-fi version?
I'm typing "What Is Love" flip. See.
I think I got a
Love by
1 hour
Keisha
version.
Cole.
Hey, hold
I
up.
found a bass house version, but that's a lot.
What we got? What we
Let's see
got?
what we got here.
Bro, where is my mouse? Thank you.
Oh my god. Alright, man. We doing shout outs?
Our version.
I can't hear anybody anymore. We doing shout outs?
Yeah, we doing.
Yeah, we do shout outs.
Alright, man. Shout out Danny. She is Madness Diamond, spelled exactly how it sounds on all social media platforms. That's my partner, and I do love you. I love you very much. Almost as much as I love cheese.
Go.
Dang, she's second to cheese. Wow. You gonna have.
And I love these two individuals, wherever they may be on the screen. But you know what I mean? I love these guys too. And I love everybody watching. That's all I got.
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm heard. I wasn't seeing it light up. I love most people, most things, conditionally and unconditionally. I love y'all. Thank you for always having me out here. I don't love these bugs. I don't. Being outside is different. I love life. Life is great. Shout out to music for changing my life. Shout out to my partner Lair. Shout out to my girl Bree up there. She's asleep. Love you, girl. Yeah. Love. Go ahead, Tev.
Oh man. Shout outs to, again, all the people watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, talking about what we're doing here. Love that energy. Love those people. Appreciate the support. Love you guys as well. I'm really glad that you guys are doing this, being on the journey, still showing up, having fun, talking about some things that hopefully are important to you guys, but I know it's important to me, so that's enough for me. But yeah, definitely love you guys. I love my brother. Wish he would hop on one of these days, but we'll slowly get there. We'll slowly get there.
Yeah, you chump. Calling you out.
Keep on pressuring and whatnot. So hopefully get him on. Love him. Hopefully he can get closer to wherever you're trying to get to. I want to see that happen one day. Love the homies that aren't here, that do want to show up, that have interests. As always, hit us up. Let us know. If you have a topic you want to talk about, we can talk about it. If we find a good day for you, make sure it's a good day for you, and we can get down with it. Love my family, parents. They've been good to me. I'll keep on saying that. They've been really good to me. What else? Yeah, that's about it. To anybody else out there that has dealt with love and been burnt by it, or just love someone right now, like, shout out to y'all. Keep living, keep being happy. If you're not happy, there is a way out. And then lastly, like, follow, subscribe, all the relevant social media platforms that we're on. TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Always missing one. Instagram, there we go, at PerspekTev. We're gonna keep on pushing out content, keep on doing these podcasts. If you guys have ideas for topics that we can do, feel free to send it to us. We'll get to it eventually. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Y'all got anything else?
We just got love.
When you make the
We
heart
got
longer,
love.
it turns into heartless. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make it long. Heartless, hold up.
Oh,
Stretch it out, and it's heartless. Put the cross through it. Hold up.
I don't know what's going on here. I'ma just
We
take
got
us off.
love.
I'ma just take us off.